Hello friends, welcome to Developers Tube channel. My name is Ismail Saudagar and today in this video we will discuss about web technologies. In our previous video we have gone through web applications and what is the architecture of web application, what technologies means what are the different parts of architectural part of the web application. This we have seen in our previous video. So today we will discuss about what are the available technologies for developing the web application. So let's go to our topic. Web development technologies. Web development technologies available nowadays are React.js, Angular, Vue.js, ASP.NET, and some Java-based web development technologies are also available. Those are Java Server Pages, Servlet, and Spring Framework. I am a .NET developer and I have mainly worked on Microsoft-based technology. So here the Microsoft based technology is ASP.NET. So in our course, we will discuss about ASP.NET. We will learn the ASP.NET and the latest platform available in ASP.NET or in .NET for creating the web application. The React and Angular are used for creating the front end. Same Vue.js is also used for creating the front end. Front end means the screen which we see in the browser, the design of the page, the fields available, the markups, the menu bars. So these all come in the front end. So let's go to the next page. ASP.NET. So what is ASP.NET? ASP.NET is a powerful web development framework created by Microsoft. It enables developers to build dynamic, scalable, and secure web applications and services. It supports multiple programming languages and rich libraries. It simplifies the process of creating modern web solution. ASP.NET Framework simplifies means it contains number of available tools. There is a bunch of software. It is a packaged and we can select our HTML pages, our C# files, which is required. So it simplifies the process of creating modern web solution. Integrates seamlessly with the .NET ecosystem, and it offers robust tools and features for rapid development. So ASP.NET has various tools and features which are helpful in creating application very fast. ASP.NET based web development technology. So there are a number of technologies also available in ASP.NET, so which are based on ASP.NET. So those are ASP.NET Web Forms, ASP.NET MVC, ASP.NET Web API, ASP.NET Core, and ASP.NET Blazor. So this ASP.NET Core and ASP.NET Blazor is based on .NET Core. So .NET Core is the latest framework for creating .NET application, and this ASP.NET Web Form, ASP.NET MVC, and ASP.NET Web API, these are based on .NET framework. So these ASP.NET Web Form and ASP.NET MVC and Web API are legacy technologies. So nowadays the latest technology which is used for creating web application using ASP.NET is ASP.NET Core and ASP.NET Blazor. There are a number of other technologies are available, but we will discuss in detail ASP.NET Core in our upcoming videos. Now we'll see what is ASP.NET Web Forms. ASP.NET Web Form is a part of ASP.NET framework designed for building dynamic event-driven web application. Dynamic, as I have already told you, that a website that performs some action depending on the user interaction is called dynamic website, like registering a user, showing some results, filtering the data, and saving the information. So if these works are performed by a website, then it is called a web application, dynamic web application or dynamic website. Event-driven web application means it acts on a particular action. Means suppose a user clicks a particular button, so a click event is fired, and depending on the click, what should the application do? That work is done in the event-driven web applications. It uses a drag-drop event-driven model like Windows Forms, making it familiar for desktop developers. So there was a technology like Windows Forms. So those Windows Forms are used for creating the desktop application. Desktop applications means which are installed on the local computer and which is having the database also in the same machine. So it is very fast. So that is a desktop application. When we say web application, it is a software that runs on the browser. So in desktop, there is in the Windows Forms technology, there is already means a drag drop feature is there. Means if suppose I want a text box on my form, then I can drag it from the toolbar and paste on the screen. So this is called drag drop. So similarly, related to this Windows Forms, we are having ASP.NET Web Forms. Web Forms abstract the stateless nature of web by maintaining state through view state and server control. State means the data which we are adding in particular controls like in the text box. So if we want to persist this data, so the state of the controls are changed means it's having some data or some updation has been done. So after round trip, when we post the data to the server, when we click the button, so it sends to the server. And if we want to maintain the data after round trip, so for that purpose, view state and server controls are used. So this view state is also a functionality of ASP.NET Web Forms. It supports rapid application development with reusable controls, data binding, and built-in validation. Ideal for developers who prefer visual design approach and want to build web application quickly without deep knowledge of HTML or JavaScript. So this is ideal for developers who does not know JavaScript or don't want to use the JavaScript and HTML, so they can directly work on this. Now we will discuss about ASP.NET MVC. So this is also based on ASP.NET framework, and ASP.NET MVC is a powerful framework for building scalable and maintainable web application using the model view controller pattern. It offers control over HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. It is ideal for developers who want to customize every aspect of their app's behavior and appearance. Provides strong support for routing, data binding, and testability. It is well suited for complex projects requiring fine-grained control. So what it is saying that it has the full control over HTML and JavaScript. In web form, we have seen that it is having server-side controls, and if the developer don't want to work on JavaScript and HTML very much, they can use the web forms. But in case of MVC, we are having our model view and controller difference. So here view is the HTML page which is shown in the browser. So we can write our customized HTML there. We can use JavaScript for performing client-side validation. We use CSS there for designing the page. So it is totally on our hand and we have full control on it. Provides strong support for routing. So here in case of ASP.NET MVC, routing concept is also different. In case of web forms, directly we can type the page name. There is .aspx pages are there, and we can go to the particular page. But here the concept of routing is different. Routing means navigating from one page to another page. Data binding and testability. So it provides testability as well. Well suited for complex project requiring fine-grained control. Advantages of ASP.NET MVC. So advantages of ASP.NET MVC include a clear separation of concern which enhance stability and maintainability. Here separation of concern means the HTML files are different. Model files means the .cs file or C# file that contains the business logic are different from your UI code. And also the controller means controller classes are different, that is responsible for request and response. So the request comes to the controller first, then it asks for the view, and it calls for the model, it generates the model, gets the data from the model, and that data is added to the view and view is returned back. So all three things are different from each other. So it is called separation of concern, which enhances testability and maintainability. So due to the separation of concern means separation of three files, front-end logic, back-end logic. So it is good for testability and maintainability. It supports RESTful URL through routing, improving SEO and user experience. The framework allows full control over HTML and client-side scripting, enable rich responsive interfaces. Additionally, it facilitates unit testing and support agile development practices. Now, what are the advantages of ASP.NET Web Form? On the other hand, ASP.NET Web Form offers rapid development with a rich set of server controls and event-driven programming, which can be easier for developers familiar with desktop application development. It abstracts much of the HTML and client-side code, simplifying development for less experienced web developers. So it is good for less experienced web developer, and it simplifies client-side code. Web Forms also provides built-in state management and drag and drop design surface in Visual Studio, speeding up UI creation for simpler application. Now, .NET framework means these two things, means these two technologies, that is ASP.NET Web Form and ASP.NET MVC, are based on .NET framework. But .NET framework is having some drawbacks. The main drawback of .NET based application is it is platform dependent. So what does it mean, platform dependent? Platform dependency. Platform dependency refers to software, hardware, or language that operate only on specific system or operating system. Such programs rely on hardware or OS specific features, limiting their portability. So if I am creating one application that runs on the Windows operating system, so if the application is platform dependent, then for it will run only on the Windows application and in the Windows operating system, sorry, and it will not run the same application on the Linux operating system. So this is a drawback. Means an app created for Windows application or Windows platform will not run on Linux. So because of this, we have to make changes in the application for running it onto the Linux operating system. So this is a drawback. This dependency means the software cannot run on different platform without modification. For example, a program compiled for Windows will not run on Mac OS unless it is recompiled or a version tailored for Mac OS is created. So this is all about ASP.NET and ASP.NET MVC. But in our upcoming videos, we will discuss about .NET Core, because .NET Core is nowadays very much used and it has very much demand and it is platform independent. In our upcoming video, I will show you the structure of the web form application, the structure of the ASP.NET MVC application, so that you people have a little bit idea of how ASP.NET MVC application is in .NET and how web form application differ from each other. So thanks for today and thanks for watching my video. Bye.